The recent comments by German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock sparked outrage among German population and beyond in the European Union and elsewhere. Critics accused her of letting down national interests of Germany and German people, while her defenders and so-called fact-checkers tried to accuse critics of taking her comments out of context. But who she is and what did she really say? And was this her first controversial comment? Let's find out together. Hello, fellow shrewd investors. Welcome to another video in your channel. I want to give a short introduction about who she is, but if you know her well and you just want to see her recent comments, you can skip this part and go to the next section through the link in the description. To clarify right at the beginning, we are all against war, and this analysis is about Baerbock and her promises and her conduct. It has nothing to do to take sides in the war and what is going on between Russia and Ukraine. For those who don't know, Annalena Baerbock is a German politician and an inflated member of Green Party, mostly infamous for her controversies, plagiarism, disingenuity, and lack of rigor in her work. Baerbock is against coal energy. She even took part in anti-coal protests in Berlin. And remember this, as we will come back to this. Baerbock is against nuclear power. Baerbock is against Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline between Russia and Germany. This pipeline was high on negotiations before the Russia-Ukraine war. She wrote a book, Jetzt, wie wir unser Land erneuern, or Now, How We Renew Our Country, that was soon shown to be fraught with plagiarism. Several passages in the book were exactly copied from other sources without giving credit and citing the sources. She promised to correct her plagiaristic actions and to give proper citations for the copy-pasted passages. But of course, Madame was busy with more important affairs and had not time to do so, and therefore decided to withdraw the book altogether. This controversy was not unprecedented in her career, as she had several other controversies already in the past. Namely, she took more than 48,000 euros scholarship from Böll Foundation to study PhD from 2009 to 2012, while she was holding a few political functions, some of them being quite demanding. She was a member of the executive board of Greens, Brandenburg chairperson of her party, and spokeswoman for the Federal Working Group during that period. This was against the foundation's funding guidelines, and in any case, whoever has come even close to PhD knows that working on a PhD project is a highly demanding full-time job. Come on, PhD is too hard for her. And similar to many other projects, she left the PhD thesis unfinished. With this introduction of Mrs. Baerbock, we don't want to prejudge her comments, and let's listen and analyze together.
If I give the promise as a politician, and luckily in democracy...
Promise to whom? Promising what? In democracy, to whom you promise? Well, to the nation you are campaigning to be elected, regardless of whether they voted for you or not. Now, let's listen together what Baerbock and her party promised during the elections last year. Their important promises include general and environmentally sustainable prosperity, prosperity, equality regardless of gender, skin color, or social and financial situation, and better pay for social professions and strengthening families. Now let's see how she wants to implement equality. Making everyone poorer compared to how they were before? Does she want to strengthen the families with skyrocketed energy prices and fears of interruptions in heating during the cold winter? And she gave these promises to German citizens or Ukrainian.
And luckily in democracy, it could be the chance that people disagree with me and they say in 4 years, well, you didn't tell us the truth.
What does this mean? Does it mean that once you are elected, you can lie to people and a nation has to wait 4 years to kick you out?
But if I give the promise to people in Ukraine, we stand with you as long as you need us. then I want to deliver, no matter what my German voters think, but I want to deliver to the people of Ukraine.
You give promise to people of Ukraine or Germany. You don't care about German voters? You are elected to serve them. What you are doing is just directing the society in the opposite direction to what your promises were. This way, you are more likely to destroy families than to strengthen them.
And this is why, for me, it's important to be always very frank and clear. And this means every measure I'm taking, I have to be clear that this holds on as long as Ukraine needs me. And this is why I think it's so important that we have to be frank.
Here she is at least honest that her priority is not Germany but Ukraine. She is quite loyal to Ukrainians. Perhaps she can get a seat in Ukraine in their next elections. But unfortunately for Ukrainians, her being there for them didn't bring anything to Ukrainians either. And maybe she even contributed to the prolongation of the war with her policies.
Yes, everybody wishes from us that tomorrow the war stops.
That is true. Indeed, there are reports that the Russians and Ukrainians were close to a solution in the negotiations they had in March-April in Turkey. But a few EU countries pushed Zelensky that Ukraine has to fight till the end and has not to accept middle way solutions they reached during negotiations. And with these comments you can imagine that one of those EU countries is which one?
But in case tomorrow it wouldn't stop, I will be also there in 2 years' time. And then sometimes it sounds a bit difficult on the EU level, and this is also where we disagree sometimes on measures the European Union is taking, because every sanction package we have to prepare that it holds also for the next maybe 2 years.
What kind of standing with Ukraine do you have? Everybody knows that the rationality as well as effectiveness of sanctions is extremely questionable. Numerous United Nations reports show that sanctions hurt ordinary people and not the politicians. So by hurting Russian people and also your own fellow citizens in Germany with the crazy increases of energy prices in Germany, do you pretend that you are standing with Ukraine? And also, from where does this 2 year come? Why not 1 or 3 or 4 years? Is it just a number that she's throwing out? Or does she have an agenda from somewhere? What does Baerbock know that we don't know?
If we don't need it 2 years long, well, this is great. But if we would need it, it has to hold as long as Ukraine needs us. And we are facing now a winter time where we will be challenged as democratic politicians. People will go on the street and say, we cannot pay our energy prices. And I will say, yes, I know, so we help you with social measures.
One really stays speechless with this level of obscenity and abomination. Instead of solving the problems of people who entrusted you, you are creating such a staggering disaster with the illusion that you are standing with Ukraine. And which measures do you have to help people? There are huge surges in energy prices in Germany, according to some accounts above 500%. What portion of this bill will you pay? And from where? From whose pocket?
But I don't want to say, okay, then we stop the sanctions against Russia. We will stand with Ukraine, and this means the sanction will stay also in wintertime, even if it gets really tough for politicians, and we have to find good solution all over Europe to balance the social effects.
So she doesn't say that it will be tough for people. She says it will be tough for politicians to balance social effects. This means that we will make people unhappy and maybe we will even make their life miserable, which is okay because we have a higher reason. And of course this is in their illusion. The only difficulty will be that they will have harder time to convince people.
Because this is the other part of this war. It's a hybrid war. The second strategy is to split our democracies, saying, okay, now the poor people are being left behind and we have to give the answers. No, we stand in solidarity with everybody in our country as we stand with everybody in Ukraine.
You can make people poor if you suck a significant chunk of their income for madly increased prices due to your own policies, and then you will stand with them? No, thank you. Don't make people's life miserable, and nobody needs your solidarity. I have some final comments. We are all against war, and the diplomatic solution would be idle for the people of the world and foremost for people of Ukraine. National and international politics is no place for experiments. People like Baerbock without originality and with whim-based politics are very dangerous not only for the Germans but to the whole world. Her track record is full with indecency to say the least, and her policies push Germany to turn to coal plants to compensate for energy lack they are facing due to the sanctions. Perhaps she is a Schwab puppet. You have to be a genius to be a Green Party politician, to oppose gas pipelines and nuclear energy, and at the same time whimsically but forcefully push policies that burning coal is the best outcome scenario for your country. Join the discussion and write in the comments what do you think about her comments and her conduct in general. If you benefited from this video, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe and turn on the notifications bell for more content in the future. Stay happy and wealthy until the next